What's up and welcome to Kind of Funny's post-show analysis of Square Enix's E3 2019 live press conference. I'm Tim Gettys. This is Andy Cortez. That is Greg Miller. We are Kind of Funny Games. If you're unfamiliar with us, you can go to youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. You can stay right here on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. Click the follow button that's on the screen somewhere here. We do daily shows about video games. We do daily shows about a lot of other stuff too, including movies, TV, music, comic books, just a lot of fun. But I would say that our core stuff that might be of interest to you is Kind of Funny Games Daily, each and every weekday on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames at 10 a.m. We come to you with all of the video game news that you need to know. It's really great. There's also another show we do, Kind of Funny Gamescast. We talk weekly about the games that we've been playing, big topics in the industry, things of that nature. This show right now is a perfect example of the type of conversations that we would have. We're going to get right into it. We are reviewing Square's press conference. Their first real press conference in a very long time.
Do you remember when the last one was?
The last one was 2015, I want to say, 2016 of them on stage.
Huh, okay.
Yeah.
And not doing like the direct model?
Yeah, we got the direct model last year, and that was very, very bad. I would say, I want to start this one off. I think this is easily the best conference. Granted, going into it, I knew it would be for me, having Final Fantasy VII Remake and Avengers, both. I was impressed by what I saw. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered, never, ever expected we'd see that. So that was a very cool surprise. Ton of other remaster games in there that definitely don't speak to me, but people are going to be stoked about them. The Romancing Saga games coming to the West for the first time. Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC, like a first real look at it. All this stuff is great.
Follow-up question?
What's up?
You're saying that you think it's the best conference. Are you talking about for you or overall?
I think both.
I
think easily both. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we got the beginning of this was 15 minutes of real gameplay of a game with a dope trailer with the release date. We ended this with a pretty big blowout of Avengers, which is going to be a huge game. No gameplay. That's definitely a bummer. But through this ton of announcements, ton of games we didn't know about. There were brand new announcements here, ton of remasters. Like I just feel like it kind of had a lot in it. Definitely had pacing issues. Definitely many of the trailers went on 2 to 3 times as long as they should have. But at the end of the day, it's like we were talking about Ubi earlier, and it's like they had a Watch Dogs demo that like was like, oh cool, at least you had this. I feel like this conference, in terms of production value, in terms of what they showed, how they showed the stuff, and gameplay to back it up, and announcements and release dates, they kind of came with the heat in a way that I don't think any of the other conferences did. Andy?
Yeah, I disagree. I just thought a lot of the games just don't speak to me. I thought the middle was way too long. There was way too much filler, I feel, for games that obviously don't speak to me, but also they were way too long. A few of the videos had to have been, I don't know, it felt like 4 or 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Tim. They started off strong and they ended strong. But aside from that, I just don't care much about JRPGs to begin with. So I kind of knew this wasn't going to rank very high for me. Avengers, super excited about it. It looks great. I love that I think they did the right thing to sort of showcase the voice actors, because I think they recognize how much gamers care about who are voicing these characters that they love. So I think that was a good idea, but we got to the games as a service part towards the end. I kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions.
There's a lot of questions about
it. Yeah, I disagree as well, Tim. I don't think it was a good conference. I think that,
I didn't say it was a good conference. I want that clear.
Okay, I don't think it was the best overall.
Oh, what do you think was better than this?
I think Bethesda was more fun.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
I think this started strong and ended strong, and I thought it got stuck in the mud. Like again, we talk all the time about, hey, our personal biases versus like what we're talking about. Obviously, the majority of the games in the middle I don't care about. I'm just not that kind of gamer. But even beyond that, I thought just the pace, we were just stuck in them forever. I felt and that's what I was seeing people who I know care about these kind of games talking about online as well. I felt like that whole middle section. Yeah, Life is Strange already out. Octopath. Okay, it's on PC. We already know that. The Dragon Quest Builders thing going on forever. All these different things coming out. We were just there forever and ever and ever. And it was to the point that knowing that Avengers is coming, you saw the chat, and I think public sentiment on Twitter turned into like, what the fuck? Like, why are they're milking this for everything they're worth? And I think that shines through, and they were just putting a bunch of stuff in there. Again, you have to show what you have. I understand you have a bunch of wares, but I think they just took too long on all these different things in terms of where we were going. This is like for sure one that, and I was just like, oh my God, like I'm ready to leave.
Yeah. Well, I think that's also the fact that it is 7:24 and we've been here in the heat all day. I think in terms of pacing, if we apples to apples, if we were to look at the games that they showed, like there was a lot more new announcements. Like there was Outriders here, summer 2020. That's a Western game that we hadn't heard about. So we're getting new IPs here. We're also getting a lot of release dates.
And what's Outriders about?
Outriders was the People Can Fly.
And what's it about?
I don't know.
Outriders was a.
Well, no, but I mean that's the same thing as Bethesda showing like their new IPs. It's like cool. Deathloop looked cool, right? Like I'm super hyped for that, but it's like that we don't know what that game is either.
I mean, I feel like we knew more about it coming off of it in terms of these two characters in a loop, time loop, having to kill each other. There's other things. We had the thing about first person gameplay and paragraph to read off of that.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of decisions.
It was the fact that they showed Outriders and you're like, cool, it's Mad Max. It's supposed to look, I don't know. And then we went to hey, now we're going to talk to the development team, or like a guy came on stage, and then we went to a package about the development team that People Can Fly. And I'm still like, you're not saying anything. You're talking, but you're not saying anything.
Yeah.
Why are you wasting my time?
I feel like it's all we need to know, right? With seeing the style, I feel like we know equal amounts about Deathloop, and that I just think that Deathloop spoke to us more as a style that we like. But it looked like Mad Max. It looked like Stranger Things. It looked like these. Like I feel like we know what that game's going to end up being.
Yeah,
and also from the pedigree of those guys, like.
Yeah, I just thought we stuck way too long on a lot of games that obviously it doesn't help that I don't care about them, but you know. I wouldn't have minded a huge sort of sizzle reel of a lot of different games that, Final Fantasy XIV Online. I know a lot of people care about that, but God, that video was way too long as well. Just like Dragon Quest Builders was. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the majority of the American audience, including me sitting here, was just like, get to Avengers. Holy shit, this is taking so long, dude. Yeah,
and that's the problem you have when you have a stacked palette of a stacked lineup of games that are like that are JRPGs, that are Japanese focused. I understand the problem they're in stuff, but I just feel like it didn't work for me as a conference overall, outside of my own personal biases, where I was just like, this is going on.
I guess I'm just saying this is like, again, I don't think it was a good conference because there was so much filler and so many things that just went on too long pacing wise and all that. But I just feel like Final Fantasy XIV is a direct equivalent to Elder Scrolls Online in Bethesda, and it's like when you start doing the apples
and
to
that
apples,
went on way too long too.
Well, that's my point though. Is like I just feel like in terms of real things that we got, I think that we got more from this one. And again, it comes down to release dates, and it comes down to seeing gameplay, seeing actual demos. On Bethesda, we didn't. We got Doom, right? But it's like Doom, we expected that. And with this, I feel the biggest letdown to me is not seeing gameplay for Avengers.
Right.
And I
do think there was a lot of gameplay in there, though. I do think there were like snippets of stuff that maybe not with UI
moments from the game or whatever.
I don't. Yeah,
but not a HUD, not to see how to actually control.
We still don't know what that game is, though.
And that was why it was weird at the end to drop in. It's a live service, and you get to play co-op with your friends, and all the heroes are gonna be free. It's like, wait, well, what? What does that mean? How is this? Like, you just showed, Iron Man on the bridge shooting shit and then talking about the Hulk. Are we doing the same thing at the same time? Are we in different places?
Like, can we switch off between
characters?
Granted,
it's the reveal, so I guess they want you to come to the booth and play, and they want a reason for the IGN live show or whatever when you go see it and play it for us to talk on the Gamescast about it.
Yeah.
Like, I understand, you want to leave us hanging, but I could have definitely gone for here's what we're doing, here's how we're playing it.
Yeah. Tamor from GameSpot pointed out that it was crazy that they were talking about, like, we're going to have updates that are totally free and all this stuff, but they said that before they talked about what the game was. And it was a really weird presentation.
It was weird how they set it up because the story looks awesome. And I'm like, oh, wow, are we getting a Spider-Man type game from this?
Yeah,
and then when they drop the online stuff, it's like, huh. Yeah, those things, these don't compute together.
The cutscene between Banner and Tony Stark, immediately I thought, oh, we are getting this grand story that I really, really want to care about, and I'm super stoked to be inside of. But but then and then they bring up like 4-player co-op, and we're dropping new heroes, and I think we saw Black Panther in the back of a screenshot.
22 minutes ago, Marvel's Avengers tweets: Marvel and Square Enix are excited to unveil Marvel's Avengers, an epic action-adventure game that combines cinematic storytelling with single-player and cooperative gameplay. So it sounds like there is a single-player component to it. Developed by Crystal Dynamics in collaboration with Eidos Montreal, Nixie Software, and Crystal Northwest.
Yeah, it's just weird because everything that they showed makes it seem like Spider-Man. Because like having that voice acting cast and the way that they talked about it up until the very end, it's like, oh, and even here they're saying single player. It's like,
So I guess, there's a story to it. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, but I guess the playability comes from, dropping in new heroes, and how do those dialogue, how do the cutscenes between characters evolve from there?
Yeah, right, because they were talking about every new hero and every new region will be free. So you figure there's areas outside of the single-player sections, right, that would be doing it, you assume?
Possible. I just don't know.
So it's cinematic storytelling with single-player and cooperative gameplay. I'm trying to think. What are any of the game? I wanted like DC Universe Online. Obviously, you can play DC Universe Online with other people as you level up, and so I guess it's similar to maybe of like The Division. Now stick with me, or Destiny of in the thing up to level cap, right, of the main story. You can pretty much get through that on your own.
Yeah, I played like 90% of Destiny 2's story on my own.
Exactly. In DC Universe Online, I played I would say pretty much all of it to level cap on my own.
Yeah.
But I wonder if this is saying that. There is a single player portion, there's a co-op portion, or if there's a single player story that's single player, or if we're talking about where there is a story you can play by yourself and you can add other people in.
Yeah.
I bet by the first interview at E3 you'll have more about this, or when you go play it.
I wasn't too impressed visually from what we saw, even in cutscenes. I'm not trying to be a dick, and I know I'm a Sony pony and all that shit. I'm not even saying that. I think that's again what you talk about when you talk about hey, let's get this on everything. You know what I mean? Like, hey, these work on PC, PlayStation, Xbox. Definitely.
I think that's when I get excited.
Stadia.
I know people hate. Oh yeah, people hate exclusives. I understand that. Blah 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 blah. When
they?
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
a vocal minority on the internet hates exclusives.
Yeah. I feel like the general sentiment though.
When there was a Spider-Man for PlayStation from Insomniac, I was like, fuck yes. I'm like, that is going to be awesome because they're building it for one platform that will look awesome and play awesome, and they don't have to worry about a million different variables. This is a million different variables on top of cool. It's also online cooperative. We're adding new characters. We're adding new areas.
Yeah. It's interesting because the West Coast, right? San Francisco.
Yeah.
And we got the kind of tease in Spider-Man of the West Coast.
Yeah, and you wonder then
stuff.
Now again, Bill Roseman, when he was on stage, let me dial it back, said, of course, that this is Crystal's interpretation, their unique interpretation. So I think that was more to space it from the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that also spaces it from the other games.
Again, Taskmaster we see, and he looked very different.
He does not look like Spider-Man's Taskmaster.
That's true.
Yeah, I didn't love the way the character models looked either. That's not even a visual thing. That's just more of a design choice. They all kind of look like, I don't know, like they had no necks or something.
I agree with you with like the actual art style of it, but the designs, I liked that they were different from MCU because it's going to be very hard for us to be so familiar with Robert Downey Jr. and then hear Nathan Drake.
That's how I felt with the Telltale Guardians game, where like huge fan of Guardians of the Galaxies, and suddenly these voice actors are different, and they kind of look different as well. Like Drax is green or some bullshit,
and the humor's kind of like the movies, but not really.
Yeah, they had like the tapes and everything.
Yeah,
weird.
That's why I think it's just. I think what they're talking about here, right, is a great move. Of what we saw was A Day, as they write here, right, and apparently the death of Captain America, and then 5 years later, right, spacing us. I'm sure you're gonna play it, and it's going to feel like it feels like the Avengers, at least in some respect, right, of what we saw of them all flying around doing shit together, fighting on the Golden Gate Bridge, and then to give you 5 years and get Kevin Coelho as Iron Man with his beard and overgrown stuff, and him yelling at Bruce Banner, right, like that's a great way of cool. We understand that it's gonna be hard to separate Robert Downey Jr. from Iron Man, so we're giving you a very different interpretation of it. In the same way, like, that's what the Telltale Guardians game failed to do, where it was like, hey, it's our own story. Well, look, we're clearly jumping off of the back of this being, the Guardians franchise, and you're like, well, wait, this doesn't compute. If they do that, where you get in, there's touchstones to the Avengers, and then you're out. Awesome.
Yeah,
that's a good way to do it, to separate you and give you their own story and have you build off.
Well, that's the thing. Story-wise, that looks awesome.
Yeah, strange experimental energy source for their helicarrier or whatever. It results in a tragedy. The Avengers are outlawed and disbanded. 5 years later, the bad dudes show up and they have to reassemble.
That's awesome. I feel like that's like a very cool take, especially to differentiate it, but still kind of have that same level of gravitas that Endgame had.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because that's so
lost.
fresh in our mind. Yeah, it's like, but this team's been together for a long time. The 5 year time jumps, like the scene of Bruce and Tony going back and forth. I'm like, this could be really cool. Like them talking about Cap being dead. Like,
do the Avengers pose a danger to society?
There's a lot there. And before, when we were doing the pre-show, I was talking about how like I'm not a games as a service guy, and like I would much prefer this to just be, hey, it's a narrative driven Spider-Man type game, right?
Yeah.
But this could be the thing that gets me into them, or not gets me into them, but at least like gets me playing one and like committing to it, where if it is this ongoing story and similar to good ongoing comic series is giving me this growing story that over the next couple of years is going to I don't know, like how often would you say Division drop stuff? Every 3 months?
Well, nowadays, like they do major drops, I mean, whatever quarter for sure. I mean,
Like once a
that's what
quarter?
they're going for, yeah.
Like that could be cool to drop in
sure.
and get like a substantial like
New chunk
update.
of new missions. Yeah.
Because playing Spider-Man, like I had a great time, and then when
DLC was fun,
they did the DLC, like they weren't all equal. Like I would say that 1 and 3 were significantly better than 2, but like it was still fun to kind of jump back in.
Oh, yeah.
And if they
Have
give
a
me
reason to play.
a good enough reason to play, and maybe
I mean,
even more often, like that could be fun.
The other day I was sitting at home, right, and I had that thing where I'm jumping around my different games to play, and I did the normal thing that I do every so often. Where I decide, I'm like, today would be a great day for Marvel Heroes, which was jump in and just beat the shit out of things and get a new suit for Deadpool or Spider-Man and swing around, right? And then they would do different drops. And if that's what this is going to be, where it is, there's a new area and a new hero and a new reason to turn it back on and go punch some bad guys or whatever. And I mean, that could be cool. That could be really cool.
Yeah, that doesn't do it for me. I don't know why that feels like something like that kind of feels like it lessens the importance of it. Sure. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I agree there too.
Also,
again, I'd still rather it just be Uncharted, the Avengers game.
Yeah.
Saying that, right, you also like, well, how close is this going to get in a different way to Marvel Ultimate Alliance? Right, we have Ultimate Alliance 3 coming out in July, which I can't wait for. And if that's the kind of thing they're giving us, because that's multiplayer. So is it the same idea that we're just jumping in and punching shit, or are the new, what do they call them, areas, environments? Can't find my notes. Oh, there it is. Every new hero and region, like, is that part of the story?
How is this going to be more than just a 90s arcade game where 4 of us get together and play and just go left to right and punch things with our unique power and then keep going forward, but in 3D with cutscenes?
And it's also the question of the same thing.
We need more.
The same thing.
I think the twists and turns of like story beats are gonna differentiate it from a game that's more of an arcadey experience as opposed to like a single player driven massive story that's gonna make you feel things. That's what I want. That's what I'm hoping for.
May 15th, I think a healthy release date for that. I think it's realistic. It's like not going to get rushed. Next year's stacked.
February and
stacked
absolutely.
already, man. Like from February to May, we're like, wow, we're getting so many games now. Like Cyberpunk's right behind that. Nuts, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this one goes. I need to know more. I need to see all the stuff. I need to know how they're talking about this game.
It's good we're going to get to play it. It's good there's going to be gameplay on the internet soon, but I feel like it's a choice they didn't show gameplay here. And that's not good.
That's not a good sign at all.
Yeah,
That's not.
They showed way more gameplay of Final Fantasy VII than I expected them to.
Yeah,
So-
that's the dangerous part, right? Is if that you're not showing. Hey, you can play it at the booth. Well, why aren't you showing us the gameplay right now?
Yeah.
Like what is going? Like
What are you hiding?
What am I seeing at the booth? Yeah, is it cooperative stuff or is it single player stuff or is that the same stuff?
Because there's a lot of times that we talk about when it comes to press conferences of, oh, well, if you're going to do gameplay, don't make us sit through it. Like just say, and we can go watch it somewhere else and do that. That's for games that like we've heard about before. Or, like for Avengers, it's like, no. People are here. People are waiting to see this. Let us see it here. Even if it's like a cut down trailer of gameplay, like to show you.
I definitely could have gone for the Final Fantasy VII treatment of this.
Yes.
Where I was like, cool, you've seen all that. And when they were like,
Let's see the Golden Gate Bridge
when they were
sequence.
like another glimpse of gameplay, I was hoping it was going to be they pick up the sticks or somebody in a pre-canned demo.
Yeah, here's your ultimate ability, and when that happens,
exactly.
that would have been cool.
I feel like Spider-Man when we first saw it, I even feel like that we saw more things that were like that can't be gameplay,
Right.
And then immediately they came out there and were like, it is though, it is like when they're jumping through and the glass is breaking and all that,
Yeah,
like that is gameplay.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah,
next
yeah.
year, when we got the bigger like blowout of the gameplay of Spider-Man, it was like, well, this is a lengthy demo, but I just
Right.
feel like we're not going to get that chance.
Well, no, because
We
this
don't
is the
have
last
next
E3,
E3.
right? Before
Yeah.
the other. Now, granted, I guess they could do
their own show.
well.
their
What?
own this, their own that.
You're the guy Disney D323. Is that a thing?
Yeah, you're right.
That could be a
Actually,
thing.
They could, but that's not games though. That's not when that's
Sure.
not the Square Enix press conference that has been completely marketed as the Avengers.
But again,
debut.
here's the next question too: is that all right? They're demoing it at the booth. They've said as much.
Mm-hmm.
You assume that's somebody playing the game, and then when they go to IGN, when they go to GameSpot, when they go to these live shows, are they demoing the game there? Like, is this the normal thing where we're now? Granted, I know you and I talk about how a press conference should be structured. Are we doing the thing where we're devouring all the information out and being like, there's not enough, when their plan is this week to intersperse more. Now, granted,
I still think this all eyes were on this.
I agree 1,000%
So it's like,
with you. I'm not arguing you.
I don't.
Bill
We didn't
Roseman,
need a
I'm arguing him.
15-minute demo. I would have preferred that. But
Or Game Awards, somebody calls that too.
I could have at least had a
Comic-Con. Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's true.
The salty part of me is mad that like all these other games got way more time than the one game that we really cared about. You know?
Is
That's
there any
not fair.
chance that PlayStation does some event or Sony does?
Yeah,
some
there could be
event?
another one of the
'Cause it seems
PlayStation.
like they've got.
State of Plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. Good call,
Yeah.
Kev. Yeah, they have the beta access or the bonuses and goodies or whatever they were talking about. Yeah, there's still a lot of places to show it, but I 1,000% agree with Tim Gettys that yes, like this is E3. All eyes are on you. We want you to do this. I think Final Fantasy, even as a guy who's like not a Final Fantasy fan, right? I thought Final Fantasy VII's presentation was great.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
They
Showed
nailed
so
it,
much,
man.
got the excitement of the beginning of like select remake or whatever. And then this one was a great first look. Definitely could have used more.
Absolutely. But before we get to that Twitch chat, I just want to say thank you very much for sticking with us for these pre and post shows. We'll be back tomorrow at 8:45 a.m. Pacific time for the pre-show to Nintendo's Direct for E3 2019. You can follow us at Kind of Funny Vids. There's a little follow button you can click here. We'd really, really appreciate if you did that. It would help us a lot. We do a lot of stuff after E3 as well, forever. So thank you for everything.
Bye.
There
Love
go.
you.
Good
See you
night.
tomorrow, Nintendo. Animal Crossing or We Riot.
And now, let's just get into it. Starting at the top.
Game by game now.
Game by game.
Final
Monster
Fantasy
Stud.
VII.
Remake. March 3rd, 2019.
That intro title, like the game screen at the beginning. Yes.
Whatever's
Production
idea
value is
that
great,
was.
man. Like that was the thing is they when we saw the stage immediately, I was like, they need to have some levels of hype to this, or else it's not worth it. That was the only real thing they did with it that was interesting, but I thought it was worth it because that definitely got me hyped. I feel like everything they showed was fantastic. That I was already sold in the game, obviously, but this exceeded my expectations from a gameplay perspective. It looks super fun. I loved all the additions to the story. Knowing Final Fantasy VII so well, I like that I had questions. Like I like that it looked like it was kind of opening the lore up and making things a bit more modern that aren't stuck in a weird 1996, 1997 world of translation errors and things like that. But I will say the one real question I had going into this was, what is the release strategy for this game? And it's still weird and ambiguous to me. They said there's 2 Blu-ray discs worth of content, and then immediately the sentence after he was like, so the first game is going to be just Midgar, and then they kind of stopped talking about the rest of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what does that mean? Like
Yeah.
that's really, really
Vague.
weird.
Yeah,
It's
they
weird
said
and vague.
Yeah, they said there's enough content here to sort of
Be its own game.
become its own single player campaign story or whatever the hell that means. Which is cool and exciting. I'm sure like that's really cool to be able to be in Midgard that much more and have
and build on
build
more
on what you know.
stuff.
Yeah.
But on top of that, though, so for Final Fantasy VII, the percentage of that game, I would say that Midgar is 25% of the game.
Midway. Tim.
And then the rest of there's 75% left.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how they're going to make that balance work out where without one fart
One fart.
one part
BTB.
feeling way too drawn out or the other part feeling way too rushed.
Yeah, because they specifically said it's on 2 Blu-ray discs.
Yeah,
which
it's
was
like,
the
well,
way
it's a
they
digital
phrased
world
it.
we're in. So
Well, that's just a lot of big ass textures.
Tim,
That's-
is there
maybe
any
that's
chance?
all it means.
Is there any chance that it's more than 2 games?
I mean, it is, but they why would they say 2 Blu-ray discs? Like, again, all I'm saying is this was ambiguous and weird and didn't answer the questions. Having the title, it didn't say part 1. It said Final Fantasy VII Remake. We saw the box art, right? So like that's
So
weird.
weird.
Are these all going to be a bunch of $60 releases? That's fine if you build this as a trilogy or a duology or whatever you want it to be. But like,
Yeah,
Quadrilogy.
at least like be upfront about what it is.
Yeah.
And like we joked about, like they probably like they won't answer it when they come on stage, and they actually did not really answer it when they came
Shocker.
on stage.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was so
Aren't
fucking
they
weird.
dual layered Blu-ray discs too? Like, isn't that a thing?
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
really.
but I mean,
Same two
the
of those, or-
discs don't matter though. Like whatever amount of discs is like, it was 3 discs on CD when it
they
first came out
only
on
said
Final
that
Fantasy.
just to give the audience an
it's
idea of how
big.
big it is.
Right.
That's all it was.
But I had the idea there that like the 2 discs weren't one game. Like the way that they phrased it made it seem like the first one is Midgar,
Here's what I got for you, all right?
Press release?
Yeah.
Let's go,
Final
baby.
Fantasy VII Remake is a reimagining of the iconic original game that redefined the RPG genre, diving deeper into the world and its characters than ever before. The first game in this project will be set in the eclectic city of Midgar and presents a fully standalone gaming experience that provides a great starting point to the series. Along with unforgettable characters and a powerful story, Final Fantasy VII Remake features a hybrid battle system that merges real-time action with strategic command-based combat. To watch this, blah, blah, blah. Then it's into special edition details. Then it's into pre-orders. Then it's into the cast.
Voice actor.
And then Final Fantasy VII Remake will be available first for the PlayStation 4 system on March 3rd, 2020, with English, Japanese, French, and German voiceover, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. Yeah, nothing
Still
about...
no answers.
Yeah. It's just
Sorry, I'm
weird.
reading live.
It's bizarre that they're being this weird. Like, it's like,
How
all
bizarre.
right, we're gonna get Final Fantasy VII Remake and then Final Fantasy VII 2 Remake, like Remake 2. I don't even know. It's Square. I would not leave it past them to come up with some weird ass names. But all that stuff aside, I was blown away by that. The music sounds amazing. I love that it's fully orchestral, new arrangements that they were making of stuff. The voice acting I enjoyed a lot. I like the changes to the dialogue. I think the character models look awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Advent Children style over the original, but seeing this, it feels like a nice mix. And seeing Tifa like makes me be like, all right, they're still being true to the original Final Fantasy VII. So like that hit all the right marks for me, with the exception of the information on how the release is gonna.
Yeah, it looks super
go.
exciting. As somebody who doesn't care that much about Final Fantasy, I will definitely play this game. I think the action sequences, one minor nitpick, I feel like that one boss battle with that spider robot
Scorpion.
it went on a little too long. But aside from that, everything looked awesome. The effects, the way the combat was represented, I thought the game looks really good.
I love how quippy it was. I love that in that boss fight they were constantly going back and forth between Barrett and Cloud, and I think that that's something that, with the look of Advent Children, which is so much darker and more emo and more hot topic,
it's so desaturated
than the original game was. The original game, like, because it had so many different art styles and so much restrictions and limitations on how it could look, I feel like so much of the character came through the quirkiness of the dialogue and the very Japanese things that they did. And Advent Children really felt like Tetsuya Nomura was going through his like high school phase of like, but now I'm all dark and when you see Cloud, you're like, you don't look like the fun-loving Cloud you were in the beginning of 7 here. But hearing them talk back and forth, I'm like, maybe we're gonna get some of that. Mm-hmm. So that was exciting to me. March 3rd, 2019. I believe it.
Yeah.
I want to say, I think I do. I mean, the fact that it seems limited to Midgar, I'm like, all right, that's all we've seen for the last 5 years now. Like I imagine, like we've seen the Scorpion boss fight at PSX 2016.
Yeah.
I'd like to imagine that a week ago they're like, should we just do Midgar? Yeah, let's just keep it a Midgar. Like, let's not make anything
It's
else.
2020. I keep saying 2019. Sorry, chat.
I'm mad at you.
But anyway, that was Final Fantasy VII Remake. Life is Strange 2.
Yep.
Cool.
Hey guys, remember this is still out, very slowly, limping out. Every few months you get a new episode.
You saw Jacksepticeye get it really
We
excited.
did see Jack get Septiceye.
Yeah.
Anything?
better.
Doesn't do anything for you?
I thought it was a weird. Yes, there's a game that's already out that's continuing to limp out. I mean, they didn't even remind you of the release dates. They're just like, it's out now,
It's
kind
out,
of.
yeah.
All right, great. A bunch of streamers like it. Great, thank you. Yeah, your release is not great for this. You should have put less time between them, or you should have put them out all at once.
Games are hard, man.
They are. I'm not saying they're not hard. I'm not taking away anything from Don't Nod. I love Don't Nod, but it's just like, if I'm the guy who's like, oof, you know what, I'm just going to wait. Like, that's a bad sign.
Yeah. Then Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered. We've heard about this before during the Nintendo Direct where they announced all the Final Fantasy ports. I don't know if we've heard about the iOS and mobile stuff before, but it sounds like it's out now. Cool. That's for you. Go for it. Octopath Traveler on Steam. We knew it was coming to PC. I don't think we knew it was out now on Steam.
Didn't we?
Did we?
I thought
I don't
so.
know. That's another thing that like.
Pretty sure they did. I thought that was another one where I was just like,
It's
oh,
a
really?
reminder.
We're reminding us?
Then Last Remnant Remastered coming to Switch tonight. That's another one of those things where like
I don't even remember what that looks like.
Yeah.
But the people that do love it.
Yeah,
And like
it was
this is
one of the-
definitely a
when
big
it came
thing
up,
for
I was
them.
like, shout out to those fans because they fucking love that game.
Yeah,
so.
June
Yeah.
7th, Octopath came to Steam.
Cool. But yeah, this is I love how many remaster games are here that weren't expected necessarily. Last Remnant being one of them. Switch Night, cool. Dragon Quest Builders 2 went on for approximately 9 years.
I want their narrator, and I was talking about how big it is.
You make jokes, but he's dead now.
And then a demo June 27th.
Yeah. July 12th release date.
For that one. I could not care less about that.
I enjoyed it on Vita. Yeah, PS Vita. But I'm not in any need to go back to it.
Then Dragon Quest 11, we've seen for the 10,000th freaking time coming to Switch.
No date.
It has the most bizarre name ever. I didn't even write it all down, but it's Dragon Quest.
There's not enough letters.
11,
on the keyboard.
Revenant of the something, S something edition, blah blah blah. It's coming to Switch. Still don't have a release date, but it's this fall. And then Circuit Superstars 2020. This is kind of Square's little
cute little racer, part of their collective, neat little art style.
Yeah, their collective thing. And by the way, we haven't talked about this on any show. What the fuck, EA? Like, you have your little EA originals, right? That they've been having like the last couple of years, like A Way Out,
Where was Yarny?
And Yarny and all that stuff. And then they don't have a press conference this year, but then they announced 3 originals.
Yeah, it was very weirdly messaged for EA Play where they had a panel afterwards that was EA Originals panel and put out a bunch of stuff there. I thought that was like, what? Why? That's a good look. Why wouldn't you do that during EA Play when all eyes are on you? Similar to what we're talking about with Avengers.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Especially with me interviewing people between stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, we have, I don't know how many they announced, 3 or 4, something like that, right?
Like 3.
So why not
the next game from the Way Out
just
creators.
put more of those interviews in there? And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. Did we need Trevor Noah talking about FIFA? I would have rather used that time for, hey, here's 3 games.
Yeah, weird.
What do I know?
Or just add another half hour.
I just did a successful showcase. No big deal.
No big deal. No big deal.
YouTube.com/kindafunnygames. You know what?
But yeah, Circuit Superstars 2020 had a cool art style. It looks kind of like that SNES game that Andre from Game Explain loves, the RC Pro-Am.
Okay.
Yeah, a little top-down.
Sure.
Cars.
Yeah,
I don't enjoy
it looks
those.
like you control the pit crew and stuff like that. I don't know. Looks cute.
That could be fun.
Battalion 1944 Eastern Front is on Steam now. Then Square Enix Music, we knew that it was on Spotify as of last week, but they had a little commercial for it. It's coming everywhere.
That was a little
cool.
Nice commercial. I enjoyed
I
that.
didn't hate it because like usually those commercials like overstay their welcome or are weird, but this
I don't know. I didn't see
spoke
it.
I
to
think
the
it was like
fans.
the one bright light in the middle of this whole thing.
And then Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind
Jesus
DLC
Christ.
coming winter. And how did they do it again? How did they not have sound effects in that
Not
freaking
just
trailer?
sound
It
effects.
was so distracting.
They didn't even have voiceover.
It was just words on the screen.
Guys, it's worked so far. Why change it now?
Michael,
if it ain't broke.
Michael, the last 8 trailers have had no sound effects. You got to make sure you enable them on this one. Like, all right, gotcha, boss. And it still went out. I said, Michael, come on.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really bizarre. It does not get me excited at all by watching that. Like I don't.
New gameplay though, right? That's what
So
you
it's
know?
it's new gameplay, but a lot of it was just kind of it's the end of the game of Kingdom Hearts 3, but just from other players' perspectives that like you're kind of like fighting with at the end.
It's like Nier Automata.
And like that's fine, but I don't know. I thought that was a very weird way to show that.
But I mean, very much kind of like that's their thing. That's what
That
they
is
do.
their thing,
they,
For better
they badly show things.
or for worse. And then speaking of badly showing things, Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers, July 2019.
Shadowbringers.
Crowd went crazy. People love that game.
Good for them.
Weird trailer that was like had an Instagram filter on it the whole time.
Right.
It also lasted 7 minutes.
You know what? My brain was gonna say, yeah, and those that like Cat Lady in the Hood, but no, that was
Bethesda.
that was Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. Oh man, but before we move on, let me tell you guys that this episode is brought to you by 23andMe. Father's Day is right around the corner, and 23andMe's Health and Ancestry Kit is the perfect gift. For a limited time, get $50 off a 23andMe Health and Ancestry Kit through June 17th. If you buy a kit for yourself too, you and your dad can connect and celebrate your shared genetic similarities, but more importantly, differences.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I loved using this. Greg used it as well.
Sure did.
It's cool being able to see all the different weird traits that we have. Things like how likely we are to get mosquito bites.
How pink you get?
I get very pink.
Yeah.
As you can see, you can discover how genes can influence well-being
Damn,
and
you are
lifestyle
really pink
choices
right now.
with insights into genetic, weight, muscle composition, and sleep quality, and more. I don't have great sleep quality, turns out. Trade reports give insights into how genetics can affect mosquito bite frequency, motion sickness, fear of heights, and more. Wellness reports can help make informed decisions about health, so that could help your dad for Father's Day. Help your dad, guys. Explore where DNAs from out of over 1,000 regions worldwide with the most comprehensive genetic ancestry breakdown on the market. You can even opt in to connect with people who share the same DNA. This Father's Day, get $50 off 23andMe's health and ancestry kit at 23andme.com/games. That's the number 23andme.com/games. Again, 23andme.com/games. Offer ends June 17th. And shout out to Robinhood. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, cryptos, all commission free. While other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all of your profits. Plus, there is no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. You can view easy to understand charts and market data and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. You can also view stock collections such as 100 most popular. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio. Discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right opportunity to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners of Kind of Funny Games a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Sign up at games.robinhood.com. That's games.robinhood.com. Back to the show.
Get there.
Dying Light 2, spring 2020.
Yep.
Cool.
How do we not have a release date still? It's another one.
Who knows?
It's just like, I get that they might not be ready, but at the same time, it's like, you should be ready.
Have you been following this game closely?
No, but I saw it behind closed doors last year at E3.
Is it not as much about zombies? Is it more about people now?
Aren't they all right? Like,
I don't. I mean, like the last one
was
was
the zombies,
I mean, it was very much about
the
the
real
zombies.
enemies, the humans.
Man's inhumanity to man.
The demo they showed me very much was that. It was
Okay.
like there's like camps of people.
I just haven't kept up, I guess.
Yeah. But I don't know. It looked cool last year when I saw it, but like seeing it now, I'm just like, wow, it's still not done. All right. And spring 2020, like, where are you gonna enter there?
It seems like a game that's gonna just fall through just with everything else around it.
Just like you, it'll be right in the middle.
Oh, I was like,
What's up, little guy?
Fallout.
in the middle.
Romancing Saga 3 and Romancing Saga Scarlet something or other, Grace, are coming soon for the first time ever in the West.
Cool.
That's another Jared Petty thing where I'm sure he was a lot of claps like Dunedin Professor's mom.
Yay!
Final Fantasy
good.
Brave Exvius War of the Vidians is what I wrote.
I have War of the Visions, but I'm not sure if that's
Visions
right
is
either.
probably what the D on the also right next to each other.
There's a good chance it's neither.
But it was weird because they showed the trailer and it looked like Final Fantasy Tactics, but it wasn't. And then it was a mobile game, and that could be cool if it's Tactics on mobile. But then I was like,
War
I
of the
don't know.
Visions is correct.
Okay, War of the Visions.
I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past them to
What
be
a
video.
There's like a
Nonsense.
different consonant in there. There's like 3 L's and 2 Q's and stuff.
And then we got Outriders, summer 2020, from People Can Fly.
Cool.
I mean, I thought the trailer looked cool, that cinematic, but we did not need to do the developer deep dive. Like I felt
not
like
even
that
deep
was
dive. Developer, very shallow dive.
Sure.
You saw them do it playing for a second. You're like, oh, can I see the? Oh, no, can't
And
see
then
the
you
game.
saw like pictures of people's screens of them working
Yeah.
on it, but it's like we didn't need that at
No,
all.
not at all.
man. Yeah,
No.
like I thought it looked really cool though. I think the premise of like this weird sort of post-apocalyptic thing with giant ass monsters with like a big vagina on their chest or whatever it was. It had teeth. Though. It had teeth, Kevin.
Oh no.
Teeth too.
Man,
I
be
don't
careful.
like teeth. Not a fan of teeth at all. And then Oninaki is coming August 22nd, 2019. As far as I understand, that's a new property. Totally.
Sure.
And then Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. I can't believe they're doing this, man. It's like, it's been years and years now. Like, remember PSX when they announced Final Fantasy VII Remastered and everyone was just like, what? That was such a tease that it was going to be a remake, and it wasn't. We're so many years past that where now Final Fantasy 10, 10-2 have been remastered and ported 1 million times, and now they're on everything. 12's remastered, ported on everything. 9 remastered, ported on everything. 8 was the one that I thought had no chance in hell of ever coming back, and most of it's because of weird licensing issues.
Yep.
The fact that the original code was like lost on PC and whatever,
scary.
like that type of stuff. But there it is, man. They made it happen. Like this is a huge deal to people.
That's pretty
and,
awesome
like,
because I know not only you, but I've seen it all over the internet of like, give us Final Fantasy VIII Remaster, give us Final Fantasy VIII, and it's really cool
it's
that
not my favorite.
they're getting that.
It is actually one of my least favorite. But
11's your favorite, right?
I fucking hate you so goddamn much, Kevin.
Bring it up.
But this is big news.
Like you got your Zach Ryans out there who fucking adore this game, and it's exciting for them, and it definitely is the underdog of the golden age of Final Fantasy. So it's cool to finally see it be brought up with its brothers and sisters.
Which ones have been remastered?
I mean, at this point,
All of them except 8?
9, as far as I remember, wasn't actually remastered.
Okay,
it was just kind of ported.
Let me go back. Not remastered, just like ported.
All of them,
like
dude.
recent ports except for 8.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
No, and I mean, a lot of them have been like HD remastered,
Yeah.
like 10, 10.2, 12. So,
9 had a weird, it was just like kind of an HD kind of up-res
yeah,
thing.
it's like a
but-
port,
yeah.
you know? So, yeah, I mean, that's cool.
That's awesome.
And then, where are we at here? Oh, yeah, Marvel Avengers.
Finally made it. It was as long recapping it as it was watching it. I have more information for you. This is from Marvel.com. They have the release and the trailer
Can we
up.
trust them?
Yeah, I think you can. Marvel's Avengers is a unique take on these iconic superheroes, including Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, and Thor. This character-driven story celebrates authentic Marvel heroism and humanity in a cinematic campaign filled with single-player and co-op missions. So it sounds like it's mission by mission inside of this story that you can play either by yourself or with other people. Like separate, the way they make it sound like. In a cinematic campaign filled with single player and co-op missions. Unlock powerful skills and new gear to build your ideal version of Earth's mightiest heroes. When combined with original, fan favorite, and classic outfits, there are nearly limitless ways to customize these iconic heroes.
No.
You don't like that?
No, I don't like that at all.
Now it strikes me as you're going to run into the same problem as Marvel heroes, where, cool, Spider-Man's getting these better web shooters or masks, and there's no change to what he looks like. You're just putting the shit on and it's giving you a stat buff. Like, because again, that would make sense with it being like a Destiny or a Division or whatever is a loot grind, right? The loot treadmill.
Yeah.
But if you're not...
Well, we saw the Iron Man spacesuit with the white suit.
Sure, that's a good point. But maybe that's just a suit.
Maybe
that's
that's story
just that
based.
mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that would. I think that there would be some visual customizations
You think so?
to it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think so. Yeah, I don't think
That's the way to make it work.
I don't really think they can do it without it. Like,
Yeah, but see, I think that there will be different suits for sure. But I think that the
If Cap gets
boosts
better
and-
gloves, do his gloves look different on his
Cap's
suit?
dead.
Great point. Shit, fuck. If Iron Man gets different gauntlets, does his gauntlet look different?
I would think so. Yeah,
You'd hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I get to play Final Fantasy VII Remake and Avengers this week.
Wow. Wish I was going.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's a shame.
E3, baby.
It's a shame.
E3.
Shame you didn't want to go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it now. Captain America isn't really dead.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Okay. Yeah, I guess why would they have him up there?
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny Gamescast post-show analysis for Square Enix. Tomorrow we will be back bright and early, 8:45 a.m. for the Twitch pre-show of the Nintendo Direct. Then we'll do a watch-along on the Nintendo Direct. Then we'll do a post-show analysis of the Nintendo Direct. If you need to see more of us in between that time, I highly recommend you go over to youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. Watch the Kind of Funny Games Showcase E3 2019. It's now live. It's done. It's over. Congratulations, Greg. You did it. You made the magic
Congratulations
happen.
to all of us. We
did
all
it.
worked really, really hard on this.
Very, very, very proud of it. But definitely check it out. Every view on that YouTube video is going to go a very long way for us to be able to keep doing that project and to get, more developers on board, bigger developers on board, like all of the things. So we love
You
you guys.
enjoyed Tim Schafer's last appearance in it.
Yeah.
He'll never
What
get off the
is indie?
Xbox
It's
leash.
him,
It's
not you.
selling out. That's
Not
what it is,
you.
according to Tim Schafer.
Anyway, see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for staying with us all day during E3. We love you. Bye.